Beautiful. All right. Thank you for joining me for a 60-minute restorative yoga class. This class is intended to be very gentle, slow-paced, floor-based, and it's all about restoration, right? So some yoga classes might be about getting a deep stretch to your body or strengthening your body or working on, balance or breath work or whatever that is. This yoga class is all about feeling restored afterwards. So don't feel that you need to, push yourself into the deepest variation of a posture. Think like less is more, especially in this class, and let this just be an hour where you get to relax, where you get to connect with your body, reconnect with yourself. But it's not so much about the physical movements and how deep we're going into postures. It's really about, this feeling of coming back and having a little bit of like renewed energy and breath. So again, it's restorative yoga. And if you want, you can take a moment and just think about something that you would like restored in your life. Could be a sense of calm or a sense of joy, maybe renewed creativity or renewing some boundaries with yourself, whatever that is. And you're welcome to come back to this sense of restoration throughout class, especially at any point if you realize that maybe you're pushing yourself or the mind is kind of wandering. You can think about how you move and breathe in this class as being practice for that restoration of whatever it is, like joy or peace or calm or whatever that is. Okay, so you're going to find yourself in a comfortable seated position. If you're not already, you can sit crisscross applesauce or with one foot in front of the other in Sukhasana easy pose. You can take a moment here and just kind of rock back and forth until you can sit up nice and tall, comfortably, shoulders down, chest proud. You're welcome to close your eyes for a moment. If closing your eyes is distracting, you can keep your eyes open, but do a soft, fuzzy gaze just beyond the tip of your nose. And we're going to start with a breathing exercise called I am, thank you. So the idea is as you inhale through your nose, you're going to silently tell yourself, I am, and then either a noun, a verb, or an adjective. And then as you exhale through your nose, you're going to silently say thank you. So for example, as you inhale, you might say, I am a yogi. And as you exhale through your nose, you might say thank you. Okay, so I will start us out with 3 rounds of that, and then I'll invite you into 2 more minutes of I am thank you statements. Sitting up nice and tall, face relaxed, seal your lips, relax your jaw, and begin. Inhale through your nose, I am breathing. Exhale through your nose, thank you. Inhale through your nose, I am a yogi. Exhale through your nose, thank you. Inhale through your nose, I am loved. Exhale through your nose, thank you. And we'll continue with 2 minutes of I am thank you statements. If at any point you start to get into negative self-talk, just view this as practice for being kind and true to yourself, returning to I am thank you statements. Let's do one more round of I am thank you. And as you're ready, just return your breath to normal in and out through your nose and allow your mind to clear. Sometimes, especially at the beginning of class, and as we enter into a little bit more stillness, into a little bit more self-awareness, you'll also start to notice certain, thoughts popping up, like something on your to-do list or something that happened earlier today, or just like a persistent feeling that's kind of been following you throughout the day. And whatever it is that came up for you during that time, right, that didn't really have to do with the I am thank you statements, but it's still there. This is an opportunity just to acknowledge whatever that is and then politely set it aside for after class. And if it helps, you can even imagine the visualization of putting these tasks or worries or cares or feelings into a box, closing the box, and just remember that it's there for you after. But for now, just setting that aside. Okay, if your eyes were closed, you can slowly open your eyes, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders down. You can place your hands on either sides of your hips, and we're going to start just by moving our neck spine. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Exhale, tilt your right ear towards right shoulder, stretching the left side neck. And it's worth noting that I'm not mirroring you, so it might look like I'm moving my head to the left when in fact I am moving my head to the right. You are welcome to follow my words or my body, either way. Just know that I will do the right side of postures first, unless I forget, which sometimes happens, especially in this class. As you're ready, slowly roll your head down, chin to chest, and then keep rolling. Roll left ear towards left shoulder, stretching the right side neck. Look straight ahead with your chin slightly away from your chest. So you're not dropping your head down, but you're also not jamming it back, right? Just think about bringing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Good. Slowly roll your head down, chin to chest, and this time just keep your jaw relaxed. Sit up tall, so it's just the neck spine moving, looking down. Good. Slowly roll your head back up, look up. And now lift your nose, lift your chin. Maybe head drops back all the way, maybe not. Just getting a gentle extension through the throat, gentle compression to the cervical spine. Good, and then slowly roll your head back up, look straight ahead, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, without moving your torso, look over your right shoulder. So just the neck spine twisting. Notice if you start to lean to one side or your body starts to move, keep your shoulders and hips pointing forwards. You're just looking over your right shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Good, and slowly unwind, coming back to center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over left shoulder. Notice if you're leaning forward or to one side. Again, just sitting up nice and tall. The spine moves in 6 different directions, right, left, backward, forward, and twisting to each side. We will do all of those in class. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over left shoulder, twist. Good. Slowly, carefully unwind, come back to center. Keep your right hand on the outside of your right hip, and on your next inhale, reach your left arm long overhead. And if you'd like, you can come down a little bit. So you're stretching the whole left side body, gently squeezing, compressing the right side body. Lengthen through your left arm and then drop your left shoulder down so that your shoulder stays out of your ear. Good. Start to place your hand on the floor in front of you. Sweep your hand around. Place left hand outside of left hip, and this time reach your right arm long. Drop the right shoulder down. And you might notice that this side feels different from the other side. It does for me. And as a reminder, we're not symmetrical. And the goal of yoga isn't really to become symmetrical. The goal of yoga is like self-realization, right? Getting to know yourself better. So if you notice like, my right shoulder is tighter than my left shoulder, rather than judging that, just congratulate yourself for noticing that, right? You're on your path to self-realization. Okay, slowly put your right hand on the floor, sweep your right hand forward, both hands forward, and drop your head. Let your spine kind of round here. Push your hands into the floor, keep the shoulders away from the ears, holding forward. And then walk your hands back in. This time, sweep your arms around, place your hands behind you, and look up and back. Good, and then slowly come back into a neutral position. We're gonna do some seated cat-cows. I will show you from the side. You can place your hands on your knees. The idea here is we're going to articulate our spine in the true sense of articulation. So take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. Pull your abdomen in, round your spine, drop your head. This is cat pose. We are rounding our spine like an angry cat, meow. And there are seated, standing, and tabletop versions of cat-cow. So this is just one of them where we're on our butt as we do our cat-cows. On your next inhale, cow pose, you're gonna move your abdomen forward, stick your butt out a little bit, roll the shoulders back and down, look up and back, opening through the heart space. On your next exhale, pull your abdomen in, round your spine, chin to chest, tuck your tailbone under. Like if you had a tail, you'd want to tuck it between your legs. Cat pose, meow. On your next inhale, cow pose, bring your belly button forward, start to lift your nose, lift your chin, move the hips back, roll the shoulders back and down, look up and back. Let's do one more round. Cat pose, pull the abdomen in, round the spine. So it's extension to the spine, compression to the front of the body, slide the shoulder blade scapula apart. And then your cow pose, back bend. So now it's compression to the spine, extension to the front of the body, squeeze shoulder blade scapula together. As you're ready, make your way back into a neutral position. Last in our little warm-up poses, inhale, reach your right arm up, stretching right side body. Exhale through your nose, place your right hand close behind you like a second spine. Inhale, reach your left arm up, stretching left side body. Exhale, place left hand on right knee, connecting your breath to your body movements. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale through your nose, pull your abdomen in, look over your right shoulder and twist. Notice if you're leaning to one side, evenly distribute your body weight on both sit bones, so it's just the spine moving. On the breath in, lengthen. And on the breath out, pull abdomen in, look over right shoulder. Good, slowly, carefully unwind, no worries. No rush, I should say. The other side, inhale, reach your left arm up, stretch up. Exhale, place left hand close behind you for support so you're not leaning back. On the breath in, stretch the right arm up, getting some motion in right side body. And on the breath out, place your right hand on left knee. Inhale, stretch, lift, exhale, twist, look back. You can press your right hand into your left knee. Keep your left hand on the floor behind you so you're not leaning back. On the breath in, stretch up. And on the slow breath out, pull abdomen in, look over left shoulder and twist. Beautiful, slowly, gently unwind, take your time. Okay. First of our longer held, more relaxed postures is child's pose, a deeply grounding posture. So you're gonna make your way onto your knees, your shins. You can take a moment here and sit back onto your feet. And I'm gonna show you a couple different options for child's pose. And if you have some pillows and blankets nearby, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that at the beginning of class, but I'll show you some different options where you can use pillows and blankets in all of the poses. Okay, so child's pose. You can have your knees and feet together the whole time, or for a hip opener, you can do wide-legged child's pose with your feet together and your knees apart. From here, you're gonna put your hands on the floor and start to walk your hands forward. So eventually forehead touches the floor. And from here, there's lots of ways that lots of different variations. If having your arms forward doesn't feel good for your shoulders, you can have your arms down by your side. If there's a big gap between your calves and your thighs, you're welcome to place rolled up blankets or pillows in between your calves and thighs so there's extra support there. And if coming down all the way does not feel good to your chest or your back, you can also place pillows underneath your chest or under your head as feels good for you. So don't be afraid to kind of like play around with the posture and with different props, as it were, and you don't need any fancy yoga props, just like household pillows, towels. And then you're gonna make your way into your child's pose or some version of that, right? The general idea is we're stretching out through the toes, ankles, knees. If it's a wide-legged child's pose, the hips are stretching as well. You're getting a really nice lengthening to the spine, through the neck, through the crown of the head, but never a point of pain. I'm holding here for 3 minutes, already a minute into it. You're welcome to close your eyes in this class. And if at any point you find yourself nodding off, you're always welcome to just take a nap as well. And this is a restorative yoga class. It's not about getting the deepest stretch or about, practicing balance or strength or even meditation, right? It's really just about allowing yourself some time to be in your body, to get to know yourself better, just to enjoy your own company as you breathe in and out through your nose. Holding here for a minute longer. If you notice that you're still holding on to some tension in your body, just let it go through the exhale breath. So you're not forcing or fighting or pushing yourself into the posture. You're really just relaxing into the shape. Take a slow inhale through your nose. A slow exhale through your nose. You're going to look forward slowly, put your hands on the floor, take your time pressing yourself up. And if you'd like, in between postures, you can do any sort of body movement that might feel good after that long held posture. And then you're just going to make your way onto your back for our first Savasana or cuddle pose. Take your time. Lie, with your arms and legs close together or arms and legs far apart. Lying on your back with your legs straight does not feel good to your lower back. You're welcome to place a small pillow or blanket under the lower back. You can also bend your legs so that your feet are on the floor and your knees rest together. And this will also take some strain off of the lumbar spine. So on Tuesdays, we often either practice yin yoga or restorative yoga. And as far as what they look like from the outside, they can look quite similar, right? We're going to do a lot of similar postures as in a yin class. We will use some more props today than in the yin classes that I teach. We'll use some more pillows and blankets. And if you don't have pillows or blankets nearby, this might be a good time to grab some. But again, the other thing I want to emphasize is that a yin class is specifically about working into connective tissue in the body by holding postures for a long period of time. So it is truly about the stretch versus philosophically, to me at least, a restorative yoga class is not so much about the connective tissue or the stretch. It's really about that mindset of being at ease and at peace in your body, in the world, and really using props to kind of hold you up. So it's a little nuanced, but I think philosophically it's worth noting that in the yin class, right, we're trying to work into like tendons, ligaments, fascia, muscle. In a restorative class, it's not so much about the body, it's really about like the spirit and just letting yourself be held and supported by the floor, by whatever pillows or blankets you have nearby. So as you're ready, you're going to bend your legs if they're not already. Take your time rolling off to one side and make your way up into a seated position. From here, you're going to take some pillows sitting forward. You're going to take some pillows and place them by your right side so that the pillows are up against your right hip. From here, you can bend your legs so that your feet are in front of you. So I just have like a really long pillow that I've had for years that I cross twice. You can have any sort of pillow that'll go under your side torso. And you're just going to start to lean over the pillows so that your right arm is long. From here, you can work your legs back so that your legs are long too. And then this is what takes like a little bit of trial and error. You might want to place another pillow or blanket behind the big pillow. I'm going to scoot up a little bit. And again, this is the part that can take some time. From here, you're going to bring your right hand. So if you're lying on your right side, you're going to bring your right hand forward. And then if you'd like, you can reach your left arm long overhead. So now you get a stretch to the left side body. It's a gentle extension through the left side body, gentle compression to the right side body. And just make sure that your head is not hanging off of the pillow, right? So you want some support for your head. If having your left arm long overhead does not feel good, you can also bring one or both arms in any way that feels good. And again, the idea is we're just lying on one side, so we're gently lengthening one side of the body, gently stretching the other side of the body. You can add or remove pillows as you see fit. So don't be afraid to play around. And then we're gonna hold here for 3 minutes. One thing that I like about yoga from home is like this, as I say it, I'm like, this sounds crazy, but perhaps you relate. Sometimes in an in-person yoga class, like I would make a shape with my body or like choose a certain prop. And then, you know, I'm like, ooh, this doesn't feel right, but I don't want to move in front of other people and like be that person who's fussing around. So I just end up like holding a shape that doesn't feel good to my body because I'm like, I don't know, scared to like grab another prop or switch positions. So I feel like at home, it's a nice opportunity, right? If you need to grab another pillow right now, like you're not going to disturb anyone by doing so. But by the same token, you know, sometimes at home, it can be tempting to like totally check out or do something else. And so I just invite you, you know, if you need to switch what you're doing or grab a new prop or remove something, do it. And then hop back into that stillness, back into that breath. All you have to do is breathe. Notice where you might be holding on to tension in your body. Just let it go. Holding here for 1 more minute. Okay, if your left arm is long overhead, slowly bring your left hand to either the pillow or the floor in front of you. If your right hand is out to the right, you're almost going to like unthread the needle, pull that hand through. And from here, you're going to start to rotate your abdomen down towards your pillow. And this is a supported spine twist. So the abdomen comes down towards the pillow, but ideally your right hip stays on the floor. You can have your head down. If you, like me, find it uncomfortable to have your head down, you can look forward, looking to the left. So now we've switched our position a little bit. And we're going to hold here for a full 5 minutes. And again, if you find yourself snoozing a little bit, that is perfectly fine. Find that I often could use a nap during the day, but I don't actually, schedule it in. So sometimes yoga can be our scheduled time to nap or to just enter a slightly more relaxed state of consciousness. Notice where you might be holding on to some tension in your body. And just let it go through the exhale breath. Body gets a little heavier, a little more relaxed with every inhale and exhale. We still have 2 minutes left here. So if you need to adjust or take a break for a moment and then hop back in, you're welcome to do so. And then just returning back to your stillness and breath. Take a slow inhale through your nose. A slow exhale through your nose. As you're ready, you're going to place your hands on either sides of your pillow. Slowly press yourself up. There's no rush. You can do any motions that might feel good to your body. Remove the pillows. Turn, lie on your back into your Savasana or cuddle pose. This is also sometimes called the rebound. So we were on one side of our body for a while. And for that last part of it, right, it was also a gentle spine and abdominal wall twist. So it's good now just to lie on the back and let everything kind of reset. You might notice like that your blood flow shifts a little bit or a change in temperature in your body. Might feel something stretch out or contract. Or you might not feel much at all. There's no right or wrong answer here. Yoga is just a really wonderful opportunity to kind of explore how we're feeling in mind, body, and spirit. As you're ready, you're going to bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side, maybe the side that you haven't rolled off to yet. Gently press yourself up. And we're going to do the other side of that sequence. So this time, sitting, grabbing your pillows, and sit with your feet in front of you with your left hip close to your pillows. And again, you want some big pillows here, and then maybe another little pillow or blanket for your head. As you're ready, you're going to start to roll onto your left side body, bringing the left arm forward, bring the legs back. And if you'd like, you can have your right arm overhead. You can take a moment again here just to figure out exactly how this is going to work with pillows, blankets, etc. And what you need on this side might also be different from what you needed on the other side. So keep that in mind too. Cool. All right. And then you're just going to take a moment here, find your stillness, and give yourself permission to go back into a deeply relaxed state. Just a gentle stretch to the right side body. Never a point of pain. Holding here for 3 minutes. Notice what you're thinking about. Just practice letting it go. Just returning to your breath, some stillness. All you have to do is breathe. Take a slow inhale through your nose. You'll usually exhale through your nose. Your right arm is long overhead. Slowly slide that right hand outside of your mat, your pillow. If your left hand is to the right, you're gonna unslide that hand. As you're ready, you're gonna start to turn toward your pillow so that your chest comes down. You can have your head facing down, or you can look to the right in the same direction as your hips. And we're gonna hold here for 5 minutes. Take your time. If you need to adjust your pillows in any way, adjust your arms or legs in any way. Again, this is just a gentle spine twist, abdominal wall twist, good for digestion, good for back health, maybe a new way to sleep. Just allow yourself to feel supported by the blankets and the pillows. That's part of this class too, right? We're not just using blankets and pillows like for their physical benefits, right? We're using them kind of as an idea of like we're allowing ourselves to feel supported, to feel held. Notice what muscles feel a little tense or tight. Just send a nice slow breath there. Just let your body know that it's safe, that it's supported, that it's okay to relax. Take 2 more minutes here. If you need to kind of adjust your arms or legs or pillows in any way, feel free to do that. And just hop back into your stillness and breath. And sometimes an outsider might look at these postures and say, like, that looks really easy. But at some point, in a yoga practice, whether it's yin or restorative or something else that's very like slow with long held postures, you might actually come to realize that sometimes this is actually one of the harder styles of yoga, right? Just like the stillness and what comes with stillness. So if you find that it's a struggle to be still, I'm right there with you. This does not come naturally to me. And that's where we call it a practice, right? We're just practicing that stillness. And sometimes that means you can hold still for 5 seconds before you need to move around a little bit. And slowly over time, maybe that builds up to 10 seconds or a minute. Eventually, we just make our way into these long held still postures. But if it doesn't come naturally to you, that's quite normal. You're just being compassionate towards yourself, practicing relaxation. And if you find that it's hard to relax in yoga, you might also find that it's hard to relax off of your mat, right? Outside of yoga. And so let this be just a nice way to practice, right? Whatever it is that you named at the beginning of class, whether it was peace or joy or creativity, let this just be an extension of that, an expression of that. Take a slow inhale through your nose. A really slow exhale through your nose. As you breathe in, feel the backs of your ribs expand. As you breathe out, let your chest and shoulders fall. As you're ready, you're going to slowly place your hands on either sides of your body, the pillows. Slowly press yourself up. There's no rush. Take your time. You can remove those pillows and blankets. And then turn back into your Savasana. Again, just noticing what it feels like to lie back on the floor on your back, especially after being on your side. Sometimes it doesn't feel like much is happening in the body to lie, with a pillow under your side torso, but when you come back onto your back, you might start to notice actually how ribs and hips and spine moved there, right? If you just return to some stillness and breath. Okay, bend your legs, feet on the floor, roll off to one side. Take your time pressing yourself back up. And we're going to use those same pillows and props, but this time for a back bend. So you're going to place some pillows. You're going to face away from your pillows, placing some pillows behind you at your back. The idea here is you want some big pillows that are going to go under your middle back, and then a few pillows that'll go under your head. So your head can be a little bit lower than your shoulders, but you're not letting your head drop all the way off of the pillows, right? And again, there's some trial and error in figuring out how high do you want the pillows under your back versus your head, etc. Okay. So we're just going to start to experiment here with lying back. You want your butt still on the floor and some pillows underneath your head so that your head doesn't drop all the way back. Okay. Again, take your time. There's no one watching. Take your time finding a way that feels good with the pillows. It's the extension to the front of the body, compression to the spine. Make sure that your head's not hanging back. And then from here, you can either keep your knees bent with your feet on the floor, or you can lengthen your legs and let your toes fall apart. You can have your arms out to the side, like a big expansive gesture. You can bend your elbows, cactusing the arms like goalposts. Or you can have your arms down by your side, or even hands on your ribs or your abdomen or chest. So lots of options here. Again, the idea is that we're doing a back bend for 3 minutes that opens through our heart space, that does a healing compression to the spine, and also where you're really supported. So there's many variations of yoga or back bends in yoga. And this is a really nice one where sometimes it can be really scary to do a back bend when you're standing or kneeling, right? And you're dropping your head back. But this is a way where we still get that range of motion in our body without having to activate muscles, right? You're totally relaxed here. Also, you're really supported. You know that you're not going to fall out, right? Because you're on your back, you're on the floor. And yet still, sometimes when we do these big heart openers, you might feel your nervous system kick on. You might feel stimulated in a certain way. For example, an urge to cry or to laugh, or just a little bit of dizziness or nausea or whatever that is. And as that stuff starts to come up, if and when it does come up, you're just going to remind yourself how safe you are, right? How held you are. Also remembering that back bends are really good for your back health, especially in a world where we tend to hunch over a lot. This posture is so good for spine health, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable when you're in it. We're going to hold here for another 1.5 minutes. Towards the end, see if you can relax even a little bit more. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. There is no one correct way to get out of this posture. I will offer some different suggestions. You could try pushing yourself up with your hands or rolling off to one side. I like to bend your knees if they're not already, so the feet are on the floor. You're going to lift your hips and maybe remove one pillow from the lower back. Lower the hips back down. Then lift your hips again. Maybe remove the next pillow from the lower back or from your head. And then make your way back into your Savasana, lying on your back, so that your spine and your abdomen get a chance to reset. And sometimes the release from postures, especially like heart opener postures like that, sometimes the release can be like as intense. So, if in the posture you felt okay, but now you find yourself getting like a little choked up or whatever it is, that is quite normal. I'll often experience a big shift in temperature when I come out of that as blood flow changes, right, from the feet to the heart. So whatever you're feeling is normal. And as I often like to point out, sometimes a posture really does it for one person and not for someone else, or sometimes you can do the posture 10 times and not feel much, and on the 11th time, like something really shifts. So I also just like to acknowledge that as much as we talk about, like hip openers, release emotion, it's also normal if you don't feel much at all, right? All things are valid. A lot of yoga, again, is just trusting our bodies, trusting our intuition, our instinct, and really trusting our lived experiences in our body and knowing that that doesn't have to mirror somebody else's lived experience in their body. As you're ready, you're going to make your way up into a seated position for the last time. Take your time. And after that back bend, we're going to do a forward fold. So you can sit up with your legs on the floor. Place some pillows and blankets in between your abdomen and your legs. And then you're just going to fold forward. And there's lots of options here. You can add or remove as many pillows as you want. You can have your arms long, you can have elbows bent, hands down. Whatever feels right for you. You can have your forehead on your mat, on your pillow. If it doesn't feel good to have your head on your pillow, you can look to one side and I'll tell you when to look to the other side. And if rounding your spine like this does not feel good to your back, place your hands on the floor and lift up, and you can actually like bring the pillows closer into your chest so that your back is flat. And this is a great way to still lengthen through the spine, stretch the backs of the legs without collapsing down, right? So again, if folding forward with a rounded spine like a cashew shape does not feel good for your back, wedge some more pillows like towards your chest, and then you can still fold forward, get a gentle stretch to the backs of the legs and the spine without putting too much pressure on the lower back. If you're looking to one side, you can lift your head and look to the other side. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And on your exhale breath, just fold forward a little bit more, feeling the stretch. If you're ready, you're going to look forward, place your hands on the floor, carefully walk yourself back up. And for our final Savasana, you are welcome to lie with your body fully on the floor, or if you'd like, you can do an elevated leg Savasana here. So the last trick with our pillows and blankets is you can build like a pillow fort and put as many pillows and blankets under your legs as you want. You're going to sit forward. And remember that this is your class. So also, like, if you want to place a pillow under your head, that's great. If you want to place a blanket over your body, that's great. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm Angela Merkel and like very austere with my yoga practice, and like I don't want to use props, and then I'm like, no, put the blanket over your body, put the pillow under your head, like go wild, go crazy, this is for you, right? Okay, so if you're ready, you're gonna again place some pillows under your legs if that feels good, so your legs are gently elevated. You can have your head on the floor or a nice pillow under your head. You could always have a blanket over your body. And this is your final Savasana shape. And having the legs elevated is really great for soothing any sort of like anxiety in the body. Someone I know like who deals with anxiety a lot says one of the only things that helps her when she's feeling anxious is doing like legs up the wall, right? This is a variation of this. Our feet are a little bit more elevated than our heart, so we're getting a nice rush of blood towards the heart. And we're just gonna hang out here and breathe. Relax through the top of your head, your forehead and jaw. Let your eyes be heavy. Relax through your shoulders, your chest, your arms and hands. Soften through your abdomen, side torso, back of the body. Relax your hips, your glutes. Soften through the legs, feet. Relax your feet. Relax your hands. Relax your head. Any lingering tension in the body, just let it go. Any lingering worries or cares in your heart, just let it go. And if you find that there's something that you're holding tight to, you're not quite ready to let go of, just take a moment using your imagination, your creativity. Imagine what it might feel like in your body to eventually let it go. And just enjoy that sensation. All you have to do is breathe. Stay in your final Savasana for as long as you want. When you are ready to get up, I encourage you to get up slowly and really like with awareness. And also keep in mind that we've been on the floor for a lot of class. So before you like fully stand up, make sure that you're just like sitting up for a while, especially if you have low blood pressure. Please drink lots of water, drink lots of water, drink lots of water, and I hope to see you all soon.